शांति शांति शांति। ॐ ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वं यत्किञ्च जगत्यां जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीत मा गृधः कस्य विद्धनहम् कुर्वन्ये कर्माणि मैम क्या था वो?
कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि
कुर्वन्येव कर्माणि जिजीविषेच शातं समः एवं त्वाहि नान्तेऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे। असुर क्या था वो? आसुरय नाम ते लोक अन्धेन तामसवृतः तांस्ते प्रेतभिगच्छन्ति ये के चात्मनः जनः अनेजदेकं मनसो जवीयो नैनन्तदेवा आप्नुवन् पूर्वमर्षत् तदेव तोयन्तनेति तिष्ठत् तस्मिन्यपो मातरिश्वा ददाति। फिर मैम
तदेजति
हाँ, तदेजति तनयजति न तदेज तदेजति तनयजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तादु सर्वस्य भायत। हाँ, यस्तु सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मनेव अनुपश्यति सर्वभूतेषु चात्मनः ततो न विजुप्शते। फिर उसके बाद था
यस्मिन् सर्वाणि
यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मैव भूत विजानत तत्र को मोह कशोक एकत्वम् अनुपश्यतः।
Very good. Thank you so much. Very, very, very good, Dishaji.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now we can just revise once and move further.
Ma'am,
More.
one question.
Yes.
Suppose I'm forgetting certain like because it's in a flow now. I can remember and just learned like yesterday only, so I can remember now. But during the time of exam, if like I forget, but I remember certain words. So will that help me? Like maybe that Asuraya shloka, that thing that like the meaning of that one, that like the world covered in darkness and all, that is the meaning, no, that Asuraya get into tamas, that thing. So if
Okay.
I don't remember, like if I can't remember during that time the shloka, entire shloka like that, the words, will it help?
Okay. But I covered all the shlokas. If you go in the meaning of this shloka, you get to know that you know this the meaning of this shloka.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Uh,
Yes.
like yasmin sarvani bhutani atmanneva bodhi janatah. Yasmin sarvani, in all those beings, bhutani, all those prani, all those persons, you will have to see the God in themselves. In every person you will have to see the God. Bhutani atmaiva bodhi
Every
janatah.
person we will see the God, and therefore we will see God in also every person.
Yes.
Therefore we will see God for every person, like the vice versa thing.
Yes, tatra ko
Yes.
moha kah shoka. After that, you should know any attachment or ignorance in anybody. That is it.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Once you will have to go in this line, this meaning by yourself. Okay, I
Got
covered
it,
all
ma'am.
those, but if you go by yourself, you will get to know everything, or your all doubts will be clear.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Next is Saparyagachukram Kayam Avranam. Anyone can chant after me?
Saparyagat shukram kayam varnam.
You can also see here saha sa wait paryagat shukram akayam avranam.
Saparyagat shukram akayam avranam.
Avranam asnaviram asnaviram
Snaviram
shuddham apapavidham
shuddham apapavidham.
kavir manishi paribhu
Kavir manishi paribhuhu.
स्वयंभूर्याथात्यथतो
Swayambhuryathathato.
अर्थान् व्यधत्ताच्छाश् अश्वतिभ्यः समाभ्यः
Than vyadadat chat. This it's not clear splitting. Tan
वयदधाच्छाश्वतिभ्यः समाभ्यः
vyavadadachashvatibhyah samabhyah.
This is shashwatibhyah shashwatibhyah. He is Shashwat. Shashwat means can't
Permanent.
die,
Permanent.
permanent. Shashwatibhyah samabhyah. So that is it. You can, if you learn the sequence, so it is very easy for you. Sa Paryagat Shukram Akayam Avranam Asnaviram Shuddham Apapavidyam Kavir Manishi Paribhu Swayambhur Yathatyatho Arthan Vyadadacha Sashwatibhyah Samabhyah. Okay, now another one can chant. Please start it. Don't waste time.
सपर्यगाचुक्रमका सः
सपर्यगात् शुक्रम् अकायम् अव्रणम्
सपर्यगाचुक्रम् अकायं व्रणम्
अव्रणम् अव्रणम्
अव्रणम् ओके अकायम् अव्रणम्
अस्नाविरं शुद्धम् अपापविद्यम्
अस्माभिरं शुद्धम् अपापविद्धम्
कविर्मनीषी
कविर्मनीषी परिभूः स्वयं भूर्यादात्यथो स्वयं भूर्यादात्यथो अर्थान् व्यदाचाश्वदीभ्यः समाभ्यः.
Very good. Very good. Nice.
Ma'am, shall I tell?
Yes.
Shall I
Start.
try, ma'am? Shall I? Sa pariyaka sutram akayam avarnam asnaviram suddham abhavaritam kavirmanishi paribu swayambhu yada yada tat ado saddam vyavadya tata saswadipya samapya. I will
Very
try,
good.
ma'am.
Hmm.
I will try.
Well done. After
Thank you.
consistent practice, regular practice, you will able to speak clearly. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Just go for all the sandhi. Okay, sandhi vicheda.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
शाश्वतीभ्यः समाभ्यः याथा तथ्यतः. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Next shloka is
Slok number 9.
9, ma'am. 9, it is up. 9.
yes. Next shloka is 12 shloka. This is covered Sambhuti or Asambhuti. Okay, we will cover those also, but this is important now. Okay, and I think one is Vidya and Avidya. One mantra I forgot. Vidya cha Vidyam. Yes, this one. Okay.
Ma'am, vidyam cha yastad, that one I think. One
Yes,
there.
yes, yes.
This one.
विद्यां च यस्तद्वेदो भयं सः अविद्यया मृत्युं तीर्त्वा विद्या अमृतमश्नुते. It is defining the differences between vidya and avidya. If you follow vidya, you will go in darkness, and if you follow avidya, if you follow vidya, you will go in deeper darkness. And if you follow avidya, you will go in or enter in darkness.
Darkness.
Deepest darkness.
Only darkness. अंधकार में. So, vidyam cha vidyam cha yastadvedo bhyaham saha यस्तद्वेदो अभ्यंसः अविद्या मृत्युं तीर्त्वा विद्यामृतमश्नुते. विद्याम् अमृतम् अश्नुते. विद्या अमृतम् अश्नुते. विद्यां च यस्तद्वेदोऽभ्यंसः अविद्यया मृत्युं तीर्त्वा विद्यामृतम् अश्नुते. Yes. Can anyone chant?
विद्यां च यस्तद्वेदो भंसः अविद्यामृत्युं तीर्त्वा विद्यामृतमश्नुते.
बहुत सुंदर. Very nice. Next one.
विद्यां च अविद्यां च यस्त्वेदो भयं सः अविद्यामृत्युं तीर्त्वा विद्यामृतं मनुष्यते अनुष्णुते.
विद्या अमृतम अश्नुते.
विद्यामृतम् अश्नुते.
Very good.
विद्यां च यस्तद्वेदो भयं सः अविद्याया मृत्युं तीर्त्वा विद्यामृतमश्नुते.
Very good. Next is important slok is this one. Just wait. Okay. अंधं तमः प्रविशन्ति. अंधं तमः प्रविशन्ति. अंधं तमः प्रविशन्ति ये असंभूतिम् उपासते ततो भूय इव ते तमो य संभूत्यां रतः अंधं तमः प्रविशन्ति ये असंभूति उपासते ततो भूय इव ते तमो य संभूत्यां रतः. In exam, how can it ask question if they want to ask by mantras, so they can directly give this mantra, and after only reading you will have to understand, like here is sambhutya and here is asambhuti, so maybe this is related with Ishavasya Upanishad. Okay, somehow if you forgot all those mantra, but you will definitely will remember asambhuti and sambhuti, so that it okay. Yes. Now start.
अंधं तमः प्रविशन्ति ये सम्भूतिम् उपासते ततो भूय इव ते तमोय उ सम्पूत्यान् रतः.
Very good. Next one.
अन्धं तमा प्रविशन्ति ये असम्भूति उपासते ततो भूय इव मे तमो या उ सम्भूत्य रतः.
Very good. Okay, so that's enough for today. Now we move to Kena Upanishad. Okay. Tomorrow we will just learn from first to first mantra to 12. Okay. Till now, whatever we covered, we just revise once more. Okay. Now we are just moving to Kena Upanishad. Okay. Anyone have doubt? Shall we start?
Okay,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, sorry. So this is Kena Upanishad. Why the name? Okay, so in this Kena Upanishad, we will cover 3 points. According to exam purpose, we cover 3 points only: self and mind, intuitive realization of the truth, and moral of Yaksha Upakhyan. This is very important. Yaksha Upakhyan, this is very important. Okay. So this is the introduction of Kena Upanishad. It comes under Talvakar Brahman of Samaveda. Yes, Disha? Can you tell me? Ishavasya Upanishad is related with which part of which Veda?
Ma'am, that Kanva Shakha of Yajurveda.
Shukla Yajurveda.
Very good, nice. Kanva Sakha of Shukla Yajurveda, and this comes under Talvakar Brahman of Samaveda. Okay, remember Talvakar Brahman of Samaveda, and Talvakar Brahman is also known as Jaiminiya Upanishad. Talvakar Brahman is also known as Jaiminiya Upanishad, and this Kena Upanishad also known as Talvakar Upanishad and Brahmanopanishad. So in exam they can ask like question, which is different, or how many of these are same, like Talvakar Brahman, Brahmanopanishad, Talvakar Upanishad, Brahmanopanishad, or Kena Upanishad. These are like same. Okay. And fourth one, they can give any option. Next is, this is the 9th chapter of Talvakar Brahman. Kena Upanishad is the 9th chapter of Talvakar Brahman. First to 8th chapter of this discussed about purification of Antahakaran. Antahakaran ki Shuddhata. Discussion about purification of Antahakaran by karma and worship. By Nishkam karma and prarthana. Samarpan bhav. Ishwar bhakti. Okay, by these sadhanas, one can get purification of Antahakaran, mentioned in 1st to 8th chapter in Talvakar Brahman. Subject of this Upanishad is Parabrahma Tattva. In this Upanishad, the dialogue between Guru and Sishya, Guru and disciple. There is total 4 khand in Kena Upanishad. Kena Upanishad. Question is like, which Upanishad have 4 khand? Okay? Okay. If anyhow, any line you feel doubt or any question, you can, at that time, at that moment, you can ask. Okay, so first of all, I am asking to you why this Kena Upanishad name Kena Upanishad. Why this Kena Upanishad is named as Kena Upanishad? Because the
something
first
like
verse, the first verse is starting from Kena. Kena means con, who.
who.
So this first verse is starting from Kena. That's why this Upanishad name Kena Upanishad. In 2022 UGC NET exam, I think November, they're asked a question, which Upanishad, which principal Upanishad starts first shloka with question. So, Kena Upanishad's first shloka is starting from question. Question, what is question? Kene shitam patati preshitam. Manah kena pranah. This is shloka we will cover in the another classes. Kene shitam patati preshitam. Okay, disciple ask from Guru. There are 4 questions in this mantra. Disciple ask from Guru. In these, it has been asked that who is one almighty conscious being who provides the physical organ, who provides karmendriya, like everyone have know about the 5 karmendriya and 5 gyanendriya.
Yes, ma'am.
Who can tell me? Yes, Disha? Ankita?
Gyanendriyas are eyes, nose, tongue, skin, and
Eyes, ear, nose.
tongue, skin, and Gyanendriyas are
These are gyanendriyas.
okay.
So what's our karmendriya?
Karmendriya, hands, legs,
Yes, okay, no
reproductive
worry.
organ.
Just look here, okay? So these are 5 sensory organs or gyanendriya: eyes, ear, nose, tongue or skin. These are the 5 gyanendriya. From these 5, we get gyan. Okay. And 5 karmendriya: speech, vak, vani, speech, ability of speech, hands, legs, and then anus and genitals. Payu, upasth. Vak, hast, pad, payu, upasth. Speech, hands, legs, anus and genitals. These are the karmendriya. Okay, these
Ma'am,
are the, yes.
whenever question ask about Karmendri, so they will give these English terms or this Hindi Sanskrit terms.
In UGC NET exam, questions are asked in both the languages, Hindi also, in English also.
Okay.
Okay. So here our question is like, who provides karmendriya and gyanendriya, prana, mana, the ability to do their respective work, and who motivates them to do their respective work? We know all karmendriya, all gyanendriya, man, prana, every those are working. So how they get ability to do their work? They have strength, they have ability, but who gave them this ability? And one thing is, who motivates them to do their respective work? Why ear can't see or why nose can't hear? everyone do their work or duty properly? Eyes always have to look, ears always have to hear. Why they don't confuse? Who motivates them to do their respective work, and by whom they get motivates to do their respective work, and who and the ability to do their respective work, who give them ability to do their respective work, by whom they take this ability, who are giving them order. Okay, so this is the first question. Like we know every karmendriya, gyanendriya, man, pran, the working their work properly, but by whom? Why are they performing their duty? Who gave them order? And how they are able to perform all the work or their respective work? Who motivates them to do their work? And how is it? So these are 4 questions. How is it? Who motivates them? How they are getting this ability to perform their work? Okay, and who is this Almighty Conscious? Who is one? Who giving them this ability? Okay, so in next shloka, this mention that one who motivates all mind, man, prana, karmendriya, gyanendriya, one who motivates all is the Almighty Parabrahma. So here is clear. Who is providing all the motivation to them to do their work? Parabrahma, Param Tattva, Parameshwar. Get it? This is one point. This one concept. Okay? Now,
Yes, ma'am.
second. Yes, okay. But this slide, I'm putting for a reason. Like if you close your eyes or you is blindfolded, now you are moving in front of this any object. Okay, and I am telling you this is an elephant. You don't know how's looking an elephant, but I tell you that in front of you there is elephant. Just tell me what is the shape of elephant. So you go in front and you see there is a big snake, a thick snake, thin snake. Okay, you like this is a big trunk. Okay, so elephant is like big trunk. So I am here with blindfolded. I think elephant is like snake. And Ankita is here. Ankita is here. And she thinks, and she's get to able that elephant have 4 legs only. And if someone is here, Usha ma'am is here, she thinks like elephant is like big, too fatty. Okay, like this all. So anyone, whatever is their ability or the limitation to understanding, at that level they can only understand about the God. Okay, here is I am explaining by example. So whatever is our ability, only those ability we can understand God, and that is not good and that is not true. Are you understanding what I am saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
Because we are also the object of God. So how can we see that we can know the God, we can know about the God? We are also the object of God. Our all sense organs and karmendri and gyanendri all made up by God. All are motivates by God. So how they all can know everything about God? This is important. Okay, this is mentioned in this Upanishad, Khand first, 4th to 8th shloka. Like our man, panch pran, panch gyanendri, panch karmendri. These all are not able to fully understand or know about the God or Ishvara, Parabrahma, because these all are created by, originated by God. So how they are able to fully know about the God? Okay. So here are one shlokas they mentioned, but thoroughly I can tell you this one that no one can't able to understand thoroughly the Ishvara. Those all thing is mentioned in these shlokas. Like through speech we can't justify about the God, because the speaker get the power to speak only because the God. Through mind and intellect, buddhi, we can't explain or understand him. As we get the frame of God by our mind and intellect, that's not complete, right? Anyone can't understand him only by their antahakaran, because the power of analyzing or understanding has provided by Paramatma. That antahakaran, that man, that buddhi, that pran, everything is made by or created by God. So are they able to completely give the knowledge about Ishvara? No. Okay.
Ma'am, once more, please.
Through mind, through intellect, through prana, through panch gyanendri, through karma indri, we can't able to understand the God. As we get the frame of God by our mind and intellect, that's not completely true. That's not completely fulfilled. Anyone can't understand the God only by their antahakaran, only by their karmendri, gyanendri, panchapran, because everything is because the power of analyzing. Mind has power of analyzing, understanding. So that power is also provided by Parabrahma. So how they can tell everything about Parabrahma? You can also correlate this thing. Uh, you can also relate this thing with AI. With AI. You know AI about artificial intelligence?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, like human being created AI. Okay, and AI is not become too much as he can able to tell about the God, the real nature of God. Is it able to tell?
No.
Why is it not able to tell everything about the God? Yes,
Because it itself can describe it, not
yes.
like person.
Because AI is made up by human being, and human being is also created by God. This is also a small thing developed by God. Okay, so that is it. We can't understand about the God only through looking, only through hearing, only by speaking, only by listening something about God. Because God is different and no one have to power to know him. Because every power is because of God. That is it. That's why many intelligent person always say that this Parabrahma, this positive, this supreme being, we can't able to understand his power. He can do anything. We can't think about think at the level of his thinking. We can't able to think about his thinking level, because our power of thinking is also created by Ishvara. Got it? Same as eyes have power to see, etc. Ears have strength to listen, but everything is motivated by Parmeshwara. He is an actuator, he is a silent spectator. Devata Adi also could not understand him, what he actually is. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
So by all karmendriya, by all gyanendriya, by man, by prana, we can't able to justify or by thoroughly known about the God. Okay. Next is verse second khand, second or third verse. Third verse. Shloka. Those persons who think that we know the God, it means in actual they don't know him. And those who say I am not able to know about the God, they actually know him. Okay, now Disha came to me and Disha told me, okay, I studied many texts and I learned from many teachers, many gurus, and yes, I can say I know about the God. I know about the his power. Okay, it means she don't know about the God. Okay, and another one, yes, came to me and he said to me, ma'am, we cannot able to know about the God, the power of God. He can do anything, anywhere. He can move. He is moveless, motionless. So I can think, okay, somehow he know about the God, the real nature of God. This is mentioned in second and third shloka of Khand second. Got it, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
In next shloka, fourth shloka, there is mentioning or discussion about the importance of Amrit Roop Parmeshwara. They are telling about Parmeshwara, Amrit Roop. Okay? Like, in this we will cover, only human being can attain the mukti moksha in this life. In this human being, in this human life, only human being can attain mukti or moksha. Intellectual person understand this, and by knowing this they see Paramatma in every jiva. This is same concept we had studied earlier in Ishavasya Upanishad. What? Intellectual person understand this. What they understand, like in this life we can only attain moksha. How can we attain? By knowing this, they see Paramatma in every jiva. After this they can leave this birth, that janam maran cycle they can leave. So, we also studied this concept in Ishavasya Upanishad by Nishkama Karma in first or second sloka. And Yastu Sarvani Bhutani, in every person. Look the God in every person. Yastu Sarvani Bhutani, same concept is here. If you if intellectual person understand, buddhiman Vyakti, Buddhiman Prani, get to know this, that we can only able to get moksha in only this life, in human life, then you can get or you can see Paramatma in every jiva. So that if you follow this concept, you can live this Janma Maran cycle. You can out of this Janma Maran cycle. Okay. And everyone want to get rid out of this Janma Maran cycle. Okay. Shall we move?
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, how will be the question asked?
It's not necessary that from everywhere it may be become a question, but somehow it from here can become a question. Okay. Like by Karmendri, Gyanendri, they can give 4 options and they add many more things in these. Like at the mana, they can also add antahakaran. Okay, they can also add buddhi, but you will have to just remember they are talking about man, prana, Gyanendri, and Karmendri. Okay, so they can add one more things in every option. Okay, like this can ask question in exam. Okay. Mhm. Got it? Shall we move?
Yes, ma'am.
Next is, so here is also the same concept we talked earlier in this 4th or 5th shloka. They are talking about the importance of Brahma Tattva in this life, in this birth. One individual will definitely get the Brahma Tattva. Definitely, they want to get Brahma Tattva in this birth. It is very important because in this human birth, you can get Yatharth Gyan. Another animal, Keet, Pashu Pakshi, they can't able to know about Paramatma. Vidya, avidya, yatharth gyan. Only you, human being, are able to get this. That's why they are saying that you can get vidya, you can get yatharth gyan, and by yatharth gyan, you can reach up to the Parabrahma Purushottam. And this is our ultimate goal. Okay. So they are putting just one simple concept here that definitely one should know or know about the importance of Brahma Tattva. And every individual try to move on the way of to get the on the way of moksha to get Brahma Tattva. Everyone should try. They are saying in this concept. Okay. So they are discussing about Yatharth Gyan here. Okay. So in Khand 3, this is very important story of Yaksh and three Devtas, Agni Dev, Vayu Dev, Indra Dev. In this Upanishad, they have different name. Agni Dev, Jatveda, Matarishwa, Madhavan. Jatveda, Matarishwa, Madhavan. Okay. So we just first read out the story, then I explain. So, Parameshwar Parbrahma, Ishwar, get to know the real Brahma, okay? The actual creator of this whole universe, that Brahma get to know that every Devta, the Vayu Devta, Agni Devta, Indra Devta, has arrogance or pride on their power. they have ego, ahankar on their power. They think, what are they thinking? They're thinking we are superior. No one else in front of us. We have too much power. So that God came in the form of Yaksha, a small child, and starting to ask them, who are you? So they all are thinking, who is that small child? He don't know us. We are the super duper, we are the superpower devtas, and this small child don't know about us. Okay. So that small child say, okay, if you are so powerful, like this yaksha first telling to him, okay, you are so powerful to fire anything. So take just a small stick of a grass, and burn this. First, that Agni Dev is laughing, too much laughing, and then he accepted his challenge, but he can't fulfill his challenge. Agni Dev think, how it's possible? I'm not able to burn a single paper, a single grass. How it's possible? Then Vayu Devta came, and again this Yaksha gave him challenge. Okay, you is so powerful. Then fly this stick, this small grass. Fly this. Then first he laugh, and then he think, oh, I am not able to fly a single grass. How it's possible? Who is you? Both are asking, who is you? And after that, Indradev also came. As Indradev came, Yaksh is what I said,
Disappear.
disappear. Then they all think, who is he? And Uma Devi, the queen of Himalayan, they sit there, and she sit there, and she told all those that he is none other than Ishwar, none another than Brahma. Okay, Yaksh suddenly disappeared, and a beautiful lady Uma Devi were there, who explained that he is Brahma Parmeshwara, who wants to show you all that this power is not yours only. It is only by me. It is only by Paramatma. Okay. First go Agni Dev, then Vayu Dev, and at last go Indra Dev. But they can't fulfill Yaksh, what Yaksh asked about. Okay, so this is whole story about Yaksha Upakhyan. Same concept what we had earlier studied in Ken Upanishad in Khand 1st and 2nd. The power of Parbrahma, power of Param Tattva. Okay. Anyone have doubt in this? So first of all, you will have to learn the name of all the Devtas, Jataveda, Matarishwa, Madhavan, and who is one Yaksha, and this complete Upakhyan in which Upanishad? Kena Upanishad. In which Khand? Khand 3. Okay. Who is the queen? Uma Devi. This type of question can ask. Okay.
And ma'am,
Yes.
what about these Sanskrit shlokas? Means we do rote learning, or we just know the concept of
No,
this?
no need to learn. No need to learn all the shlokas. Okay, because in the, now as you moving forward, every Upanishad have too big or too much shlokas there, so you can't learn all those. Ishavasya Upanishad it's small and easy to learn. That's why I think you should learn. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah.
Next is In fourth Khanda, Upanishad sadhana of following the Brahma. Different type of sadhan. Like in Yoga Sutra, we have studied Ashtang Yoga, same as eh, for following the Brahma, for getting the Brahma, what are the sadhan? There are three type of sadhan mentioned in here: tapa, dhamma, karma. Karma is like nishkam karma. Nishkam karma, like he is just giving the water in flower or small tree and say Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namah. He is doing his work without any fruit. And what is he thinking? Myself and my family will eat the fruits of this tree. So this is Sakam Karma, this is Niskam Karma. Okay? Difference only the intellect, difference only the thinking behind the work. And yes, this is tapa, the hard work to destroy all your impurities. We know we have all very two big impurities in physical, in mental. Okay, so by tapa we can destroy all our impurities. Okay, and dhamma means control on mind, control on our man and gyanendriya. That's our sadhan for following the Brahma, for getting the Brahma Tattva. I think this is the last slide of Kena Upanishad. This from tomorrow we will start Kathopanishad. Anyone have doubt till now? They can ask.
Ma'am, then if the entire Kena Upanishad, not any particular shloka, we need to
No.
remember words, the names and the keywords like Parabrahma, Parameshwar, and then the different names of the Devdas. That's it, no?
Yes, I told you what type of question has asked in exam. Okay, I told you na before some 5 or 10 minutes before, like question I asked like in which Upanishad there is a discussion about Yaksha Upakhyan. Okay, who is Yaksha in Kena Upanishad? Okay, name of Agni Dev, Vayu Dev, Indra Dev in Kena Upanishad. Okay, like these can ask question. Okay.
Ma'am, number of mantra will they ask in the examination?
No, this type of question will not ask in exam. How many mantras, how many shlokas. Okay?
Ma'am, but Ishavasya Upanishad, they can ask number of mantras and.
No, I did not think like they can ask about total mantras in any Upanishad. Definitely, they cannot ask. They will not ask about the total number of shlokas or mantras. Okay? Anyone else? Should we end the class? Yes.